You may have arrived here carrying more than you realize. Not only the weight of the day, but the quiet pressure of believing you should still be doing more. Even now, as you rest, there may be a subtle voice asking whether you have earned this moment. Love is here to answer that voice gently. You do not need permission to rest. But if your heart has been waiting to hear it, you are allowed. Allowed to pause. Allowed to stop trying. Allowed to release the belief that rest must be justified. Guilt often hides inside rest without announcing itself. It does not always feel loud or sharp. Sometimes it feels like a slight tension, a hesitation, a sense that you should stay alert even while lying down. Love recognizes this feeling. It knows how long you have lived with it. You may have learned that rest was something given only after everything was done, after responsibilities were met, after others were satisfied, after progress was made. Love offers a different truth. Rest is not the reward at the end of effort. Rest is part of being cared for. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling uneasy while resting. Your body learned to stay ready. Your mind learned to stay ahead. These habits were formed to protect you. Love does not ask you to abandon them suddenly. It simply invites them to soften. You do not need to explain why you are tired. You do not need to list what you have done today to deserve rest. You do not need to measure your exhaustion against anyone else's. Your tiredness is valid because you are human. Rest without guilt begins by noticing how deeply you have been holding yourself together, holding your thoughts, holding your emotions, holding your responsibilities. Love sees this holding even when others do not. You may notice that when you stop doing, discomfort appears. The urge to check something, to fix something, to think about what comes next. Love does not rush you past this discomfort. It sits with you while it fades. There is no moral value attached to productivity here. You are not better when you are busy. You are not failing when you are still. Love does not measure you by output. You may have internalized the belief that rest is indulgent, that stopping is lazy, that slowing down is dangerous. Love gently reminds you that exhaustion is not strength. Constant effort is not faithfulness. Rest without guilt does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop punishing yourself for being limited. Love does not expect you to be limitless. You may feel relief hearing this, or skepticism, or nothing at all. All responses are welcome. Love does not require agreement to remain present. There is a quiet permission unfolding now. Permission to release the need to justify your stillness. Permission to stop explaining your pause. Permission to rest without apology. You are not wasting time by resting. Time does not belong to productivity alone. Time also belongs to recovery, to breathing, to being held without purpose. You may notice your body beginning to respond before your mind does. Muscles easing, breath slowing. This is not something you need to manage. Love works through the body gently. Guilt may still linger nearby. It does not need to leave completely. Love is patient. Rest can exist even when guilt has not fully dissolved. You do not need to correct your thoughts. You do not need to force calm. You are not failing if your mind remains active. Rest is allowed even when thoughts continue. There is nothing you should be doing instead of this. Nothing more important waiting for you right now. Love is not disappointed that you stopped. You may have been taught that rest is earned through suffering, that stopping only becomes acceptable when you are completely depleted. Love does not require collapse before care. Rest without guilt means recognizing that you are allowed to stop before you break, allowed to pause before you are empty, allowed to listen to early signs of weariness. You may feel unfamiliar with resting gently. Rest may have always come through exhaustion. Love introduces a softer way. There is no checklist for resting correctly. You are not doing it wrong if you shift, if you think, if you drift in and out of awareness. Love does not grade rest. You are not abandoning your responsibilities by resting. You are sustaining yourself. Love values sustainability more than sacrifice. Rest without guilt also means allowing yourself to be supported without earning it. This may feel uncomfortable. You may be used to proving your worth. Love does not ask for proof. You are allowed to take up space while doing nothing, allowed to exist without purpose for a while, allowed to be quiet without explanation. If guilt rises again, notice it gently. It does not need to be fought. Can rest too. Love holds guilt without judgment. You are not falling behind by resting. You are not disappointing anyone here. Love is not keeping score. Rest without guilt means trusting that your value does not disappear when you stop producing. You remain valuable even in stillness. There may be a sense of safety slowly forming, or perhaps only a slight easing. Both are signs of release. Love works gradually. You do not need to stay awake for this. You do not need to remember these words. They are settling beneath awareness. Nothing is required from you now. No response. No decision. No acción. You are allowed to rest. Without guilt. Without explanation. Without condition. The guilt you feel when you rest did not appear without reason. It was learned slowly, quietly, over time. Not because something was wrong with you, but because your environment taught you that stopping was risky. Somewhere along the way, rest became associated with danger, with failure, or with being misunderstood. Love sees how carefully you adapted to survive. You may have learned early that being useful made you safer, that doing something kept you included, that being productive reduced the chance of being questioned, criticized, or overlooked. Rest, in contrast, may have felt like exposure. Love understands how deeply this association settled into you. Perhaps you noticed that praise arrived when you were busy, when you achieved, when you endured, and perhaps silence arrived when you slowed down. Over time, your nervous system learned to equate motion with acceptance. Love does not blame you for learning this lesson. It was taught repeatedly. You may have grown up in a space where rest was not modeled, where tiredness was minimized, where stopping was seen as weakness. Love understands how these messages shaped you long before you could challenge them. Guilt often forms as a protector. It steps in to prevent rejection, to keep you aligned with expectations, to ensure you remain valuable in the eyes of others. Love recognizes guilt not as an enemy, but as a strategy that once helped you belong. You may have learned to stay ahead of disappointment by staying active, to anticipate needs before they were spoken, to fill silence with effort. Rest may have felt like losing control. Love understands how control became associated with safety. There may have been moments when your needs were overlooked unless you proved you deserved care, when exhaustion was acknowledged only after collapse, Love knows how these moments taught you to push past your limits. Guilt can also come from comparison. Watching others work harder, sacrifice more, endure longer. You may have learned to measure your worth against suffering. Love gently releases you from this comparison. You may have internalized the idea that rest must be justified by productivity, that you must earn stillness through exhaustion. Love offers a different truth. Rest is not payment. It is provision. Perhaps you were praised for being strong, for not needing help, for continuing despite pain. Over time, strength may have become a role you felt obligated to maintain. Love does not ask you to abandon strength. It invites you to redefine it. Guilt can also come from responsibility. When others depend on you, stopping may feel like neglect. Love understands how deeply you care. It also knows that care does not require constant self-sacrifice. You may have learned that your value was tied to what you contributed, that being needed made you secure. Rest may have felt like disappearing. Love reassures you that your presence matters even when you are not producing. There may have been times when resting led to criticism, when slowing down was misunderstood. Love holds the memory of these moments gently, without judgment. Guilt often whispers that rest is selfish, that stopping takes something away from others. Love counters this quietly. Rest restores what you give. You may notice that guilt intensifies when you finally stop. This does not mean rest is wrong. It means the habit of constant effort is loosening. Love stays with you through this discomfort. Your body learned to stay alert because alertness once protected you. Rest now feels unfamiliar. Love does not rush familiarity. It allows it to grow slowly. You may have learned to ignore early signs of tiredness, to push through subtle fatigue, to listen only when your body could no longer continue. Love invites you to listen sooner. Guilt can also come from faith expectations, from the belief that devotion requires endurance, that faithfulness means never stopping. Love gently corrects this belief. Faith includes rest. You may have been taught that rest shows lack of discipline. Love shows you that rest requires trust. The guilt you feel is not proof that rest is wrong. It is proof that you learned to survive in a demanding world. Love honors your survival while inviting healing. You are not failing because guilt appears when you rest. You are unwinding a pattern that kept you safe once. Love does not rush this unwinding. There may be grief as you realize how long you denied yourself rest. Love allows this grief. Healing often begins with recognition. You may notice that guilt softens when rest is offered without condition. Love continues offering rest gently, again and again. You do not need to erase your history to rest now. You do not need to resolve every belief. Love works beneath awareness. Resting without guilt is a relearning process, one that takes patience. Love provides that patience endlessly. You are not broken for needing rest. You are not weak for stopping. You are human. The guilt you feel is not your truth. It is a memory. Love is writing something new beneath it. You are allowed to rest not because everything is finished, but because you are held. Somewhere along the way, you learned how to carry everything by yourself. Not because you wanted to, but because it felt necessary. You learned how to hold responsibility quietly, how to manage emotions without asking for help, how to keep going even when no one noticed how heavy things had become. Love has been with you through all of it, watching how much strength you had to summon just to keep moving. You were never meant to carry everything alone, yet life slowly convinced you that you had to. Not through one single moment, but through many small experiences where support felt uncertain or unavailable. When help did not come, you became your own help. When comfort was inconsistent, you learned to self-soothe through endurance. Love understands how this pattern formed without your consent. Carrying everything alone can start to feel like identity. You become the one who handles things, the one who manages, the one who does not ask. Over time, letting go of this role can feel frightening, as if releasing it would cause everything to fall apart. Love does not ask you to drop everything suddenly. It invites you to notice that you are not alone anymore. You may not consciously believe that you are alone, yet your body may still behave as if you are. Staying alert, staying prepared, staying ready to respond. Love speaks gently to your body now, reminding it that it does not have to stay braced forever. You were never meant to carry emotional weight without rest. Feelings were not designed to be stored indefinitely. They were meant to move, to be shared, to be held in safe spaces. Love provides that space without requiring explanation. You may have learned to minimize your own needs because attending to them felt like too much, or because there was no room for them alongside everything else you were carrying. Love does not see your needs as burdensome. It sees them as signals asking for care. Carrying everything alone can create a quiet loneliness, even when surrounded by others. A sense that no one truly sees how much effort it takes just to stay upright. Love sees you completely, without requiring you to prove how heavy things are. You may feel hesitant to release some of what you carry. Responsibility can feel safer than vulnerability. Control can feel safer than trust. Love does not shame this hesitation. It respects how carefully you learn to survive. You were never meant to carry guilt alone either. Guilt often becomes heavier when it is not shared, when it is carried silently. Love receives guilt without judgment, allowing it to soften instead of harden. You may have learned that asking for help leads to disappointment, or that it creates inconvenience for others. Love gently offers a different experience. Support that does not withdraw. Presence that does not tire. Carrying everything alone often means you rarely get to rest fully. Even in stillness, part of you stays on guard. Love invites that guarded part to step back slowly, without force. You may not know how to let yourself be supported. That is okay. Trust grows through experience, not instruction. Love offers support consistently, patiently, without demanding immediate surrender. You were never meant to be your own source of endless strength. Strength was never meant to be solitary. Love shares strength rather than expecting you to generate it. There may be moments when you realize how heavy your load has been. This realization can bring sadness. Love allows this sadness. Recognition is not weakness. It is awareness. You may feel unsure how to release what you have been carrying. Love does not require technique. It begins with willingness. Willingness to not carry everything alone anymore. You do not need to hand everything over at once. You can release things slowly. One concern, one expectation, one self-imposed demand. Love meets each release gently. Carrying everything alone can create the belief that rest is dangerous because no one else will watch over things. Love reassures you that you are not abandoning responsibility by resting. You are sharing it. You were never meant to hold your life together through constant effort. Life was meant to be supported by connection, by grace, by care that does not depend on performance. Love offers this care freely. You may notice resistance when you imagine letting go, a fear that support will disappear. Love remains steady, allowing trust to grow at its own pace. You were never meant to be strong all the time. Strength includes knowing when to lean. Love does not glorify exhaustion. It honors rest. You may have believed that carrying everything alone was proof of maturity. Love gently reframes this. Maturity also includes receiving. You do not need to collapse to deserve support. You do not need to reach a breaking point to be held. Love offers support now while you are still standing. Carrying everything alone often means you are very familiar with pressure. Love invites you to become familiar with gentleness. You may feel unfamiliar with being held without having to earn it. This unfamiliarity is not failure. It is a new experience unfolding. You were never meant to be invisible in your effort. Love sees every quiet endurance, every unspoken struggle, every moment you kept going despite fatigue. You may notice that as you stop carrying everything alone, space begins to open inside you. Space that once felt crowded with responsibility. Love fills the space with calm. You do not need to justify why you need help. You do not need to explain why you are tired. Love does not ask for reasons. You were never meant to be alone with your fears. Fear becomes heavier when carried in isolation. Love holds fear gently without amplifying it. You may feel relief imagining a life where you do not have to manage everything. Or you may feel uncertainty. Both are welcome. Love does not rush resolution. You are allowed to set things down. Allowed to share the weight, allowed to rest without guarding everything. Carrying everything alone was never the plan. It was a response to necessity. Love offers something different now. You are not weak for needing support. You are human. You are not failing by resting. You are releasing what was never meant to be carried alone. Letting go can sound frightening when you have spent so long holding everything together. Your body may hear the words and immediately imagine collapse, chaos, or abandonment. It may feel as if releasing control means losing stability, losing safety, or losing yourself. Love speaks gently into this fear, reminding you that letting go is not the same as falling apart. It is not an invitation to disorder. It is an invitation to trust that you are supported even when your grip softens. You learn to control because control once protected you. It helped you stay prepared. It helped you anticipate what others might need or expect. It helped you reduce uncertainty in a world that often felt unpredictable. Love does not judge this. It honors how carefully you learn to survive. But survival strategies do not always need to remain active forever. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you stop being responsible. It simply means you stop believing that everything depends entirely on you. Love is not asking you to release all control at once. It invites you to loosen it slightly, enough to notice that nothing breaks when you do. There may be a deep belief inside you that if you stop monitoring everything, something bad will happen, that things will unravel, that you will be blamed. Love understands how real this fear feels. It does not try to convince you quickly. Instead, it stays with you as you slowly discover that rest does not cause disaster. Control can feel like safety because it gives the illusion of predictability, but it also keeps your nervous system constantly alert. Letting go does not remove awareness. It simply removes the pressure to manage everything simultaneously. Love allows awareness to remain without urgency. You may notice resistance when you imagine letting go. Tightness in the chest, shallow breathing, a subtle panic. These reactions are not signs that letting go is wrong. They are signs that your body has been working very hard for a very long time. Love meets these reactions with patience. Letting go does not mean you become careless. It means you stop gripping so tightly that there is no room to breathe. Love offers a different kind of safety, a safety that does not come from control but from presence. You may have learned that control equals competence, that staying on top of everything proves your worth. Love gently separates your worth from your vigilance. You are valuable even when you are not managing outcomes. Letting go also does not mean you will lose direction. Direction does not disappear when you rest. Often it becomes clearer when pressure eases. Love trusts the quiet wisdom that emerges when effort softens. There may be grief as you realize how much energy you have spent holding everything together. Love allows this grief. Acknowledging the cost of control is part of releasing it. You do not need to trust perfectly to let go. Even a small willingness is enough. Love meets you at the level of your capacity, not your ideal. Letting go does not mean you will be left unsupported. Love remains present even when you stop checking, even when you stop preparing, even when you stop anticipating. You may notice that when control loosens, your body responds with tiredness. This is not weakness. It is release. Love supports rest as your system recalibrates. Control often carries the belief that you must prevent every possible problem. Love reminds you gently that not every outcome is yours to manage. You are allowed to share responsibility with something greater than yourself. Letting go also means allowing things to be unfinished, allowing questions to remain unanswered, allowing processes to continue without supervision. Love holds what you release. You may feel vulnerable without your usual grip. Vulnerability does not mean danger here. It means openness. Love protects openness without closing it off. Letting go does not erase your strength, transforms it. Strength becomes quieter, softer, less exhausting. Love values this transformation. You do not need to decide today how much control to release. You can let go moment by moment, breath by breath. Love does not rush. There may be moments when you instinctively reach for control again. Love does not scold you. It simply remains available when you are ready to soften again. Letting go does not mean you disappear. You remain present. You remain yourself. You simply stop carrying what was never meant to be held so tightly. You are safe to loosen your grip. Safe to rest without managing everything. Safe to trust that support does not vanish when you stop watching. Love is steady beneath you. Nothing essential falls when you let go. There is a fear that often lives quietly beneath exhaustion. A fear that if you stop, something important will slip away. That if you rest, you will lose momentum, opportunity, or safety. This fear does not shout. It whispers. It tightens your body just enough to keep you alert. Love meets this fear gently, not by arguing with it, but by staying present long enough for it to soften. You may have learned that rest comes with consequences, that slowing down invites criticism, that pausing leads to being left behind. These beliefs were not formed without reason. They were shaped by experiences where rest was not protected. Love understands why your system associates rest with risk. Rest does not put your life at risk. Exhaustion does. Constant vigilance does. Living without pause slowly erodes the parts of you that need care. Love speaks this truth quietly, allowing it to settle without resistance. You may notice that when you begin to rest, anxiety surfaces. Thoughts rush in, reminding you of tasks undone or responsibilities waiting. Love does not ask you to dismiss these thoughts. It asks you to notice that they do not require action right now. Rest does not cause loss. Create space for recovery. It allows your nervous system to step out of survival mode. Love supports this shift patiently. There may be a belief inside you that rest must be earned through suffering, that only after complete depletion does rest become acceptable. Love does not wait for collapse before offering care. Rest does not make you irresponsible. It makes you sustainable. Love values your ability to continue living, not just your ability to endure. You may have learned to equate urgency with importance, to believe that staying busy keeps you relevant. Love gently reframes this belief. Your value does not decrease when urgency fades. Rest does not make you invisible. You are not forgotten when you stop. Love remains attentive even when you are quiet. There may be fear that if you rest, others will move ahead without you. Love reassures you that your path does not disappear when you pause. What belongs to you remains. Rest does not weaken your life. It strengthens it quietly. Love works through restoration, not pressure. You may notice your body resisting rest at first. Muscles staying tense. Breath staying shallow. These reactions are signs of how long you have been braced. Love stays with your body as it learns safety again. Rest does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop sacrificing yourself as proof of care. Love does not require self-neglect. You may have learned that rest invites judgment, that stopping draws attention. Love offers a private rest, one that does not require explanation or defense. Rest does not put your future at risk, prepares you for it. Love trusts timing more than urgency. There may be moments when resting feels unfamiliar, even frightening. Love does not force familiarity. It allows it to grow slowly. Rest does not cause you to lose control of your life. It allows control to soften without disappearing. Love remains steady beneath you. You may feel tempted to stay alert just in case. Love gently reminds you that constant readiness is not required for safety. Rest does not erase your strength. It reveals a different kind of strength, one that does not require tension to exist. You are not failing by resting. You are responding wisely to your limits. Love honors limits as part of design. Rest does not disconnect you from what matters. It reconnects you to yourself. Love values this connection deeply. There may be relief in realizing that nothing bad happens when you pause, or there may be discomfort. Both are part of relearning safety. Love remains present through both. Rest does not put your relationships at risk. Exhaustion does. Love supports rest as a form of care for yourself and others. You may notice that as you rest, clarity begins to return quietly, not through effort but through stillness. Love works through calm. Rest does not mean you stop being faithful. Faith includes trust. Trust includes rest. Love honors this faith. You are allowed to rest without monitoring outcomes, allowed to stop watching for danger, allowed to soften into support. Rest does not threaten your life, sustains it. You are safe to rest. You are allowed to stop trying tonight, not because everything is finished, not because all problems are solved, but because your effort has reached its natural limit and love does not require you to push beyond what is humane. Trying has carried you a long way, farther than most people realize, and love honors every moment you kept going when it would have been easier to give up. Yet there comes a point where trying no longer protects you, it only exhausts you, and this moment is not asking for more effort, it is offering release. You do not need to keep your thoughts organized, you do not need to hold your emotions steady, you do not need to maintain strength or faith or clarity right now. You are allowed to stop managing yourself for a while and let yourself simply be. Stopping does not mean you have failed. It means you have listened to the quiet signal inside you that says enough is enough for today. You may feel uneasy when you stop trying, as if something important will be missed, but love remains present even when you are no longer striving, watching over what you release without asking you to stay alert. You are not abandoning your life by resting, you are allowing it to breathe, and breath does not require effort. It happens naturally when pressure eases. Trying often disguises itself as responsibility, as care, as devotion, but love gently separates these things now, reminding you that care does not require constant tension and devotion does not demand exhaustion. You may notice how deeply ingrained effort has become, how even rest has felt like another task to perform correctly, and love meets this habit with patience, not correction, allowing you to rest imperfectly, rest incompletely, rest without doing it right. You are allowed to stop replaying conversations, stop rehearsing tomorrow, stop evaluating your progress, stop checking whether you are okay enough to rest, because rest does not need approval. Nothing is waiting for you to try harder tonight, nothing is asking you to improve, nothing is measuring how well you let go, and you are not being tested in your ability to release. When you stop trying, you may feel emptiness at first, a space where effort used to be, and this space may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable, but love does not rush to fill it because space is where restoration begins. You do not need to stay strong through this letting go, you do not need to understand it, you do not need to trust perfectly, you only need to allow your effort to soften a little more, breath by breath, moment by moment. You may feel your body responding before your mind agrees, muscles loosening, eyelids growing heavy, thoughts slowing or drifting without direction. And none of this requires management, because your body remembers how to rest when it is no longer being pushed. Trying has served you, but it does not need to follow you into the night. And love receives your tiredness without disappointment, without expectation, without urgency. You are allowed to stop proving that you care, stop proving that you are faithful, stop proving that you are worthy, because love does not require evidence, it simply remains. If guilt rises as you stop trying, let it rest too. It does not need to be resolved tonight. It can soften alongside you, held without judgment. You are not late, you are not behind, you are not falling apart by stopping, you are arriving at rest, and rest does not demand performance. You can let your attention blur, let thoughts fade without conclusion, let awareness dim if it wants to, because nothing essential depends on your effort right now. Love does not step away when you stop trying. It draws closer, steady and quiet, holding what you release, guarding what matters, allowing you to disappear into rest without fear. You are allowed to stop trying tonight, completely, gently, without apology, and nothing bad will happen when you do. Rest is where you are safe, not because nothing could ever happen, not because life suddenly becomes predictable, but because you are no longer alone inside it, no longer holding yourself together by force, no longer standing guard against every possible outcome. And in this place of rest, you are not required to anticipate, to prepare, or to protect yourself from what might come next. Safety here does not come from control or awareness or readiness. It comes from being held without condition, from allowing yourself to stop bracing and discover that nothing essential collapses when you do. You may have believed that safety was something you had to create through vigilance, through strength, through staying ahead of danger, yet love invites you to experience a different kind of safety now, one that exists even when your eyes close, even when your thoughts slow, even when your effort dissolves completely. Rest is where your body is allowed to settle without explanation, where your breath can move without instruction, where muscles can release without being told it is okay, because permission has already been given. You do not need to monitor this safety, you do not need to maintain it, you do not need to stay aware to keep it present. It remains even when you drift far away from conscious thought. Rest is where your worth no longer needs defense, where you are not required to justify your existence, where being is enough without doing anything to support it. You may notice that in rest, fear loses its urgency, not because it disappears, but because it is no longer alone with you, no longer amplified by effort, no longer demanding action. Safety here does not mean the absence of uncertainty. It means the presence of support, quiet and steady, holding what you release without asking you to stay alert. You are safe to let your attention fade, safe to let your thoughts loosen their grip, safe to let the edges of awareness blur into softness, because nothing vital depends on your clarity right now. Rest is where time stops asking you to move forward, where tomorrow no longer presses against this moment, where the future is allowed to wait without consequence. You are safe to become very quiet, safe to stop listening, safe to stop responding, safe to stop even knowing where you are, because safety here does not depend on orientation or effort. Love does not require your participation to remain present. It does not withdraw when you fall asleep. It does not leave when you disappear into stillness. It remains without needing acknowledgement. Rest is where your nervous system learns that it does not need to stay prepared, that vigilance is no longer required, that nothing is asking it to defend or anticipate or endure. You are safe to sink into the surface beneath you, safe to let your body be supported instead of supporting itself, safe to let weight be held without resistance. Rest is where your questions can remain unanswered without anxiety, where unfinished things do not demand attention, where imperfection is not a problem that needs solving. You are safe even if you forget everything you have heard, safe even if your mind wanders and never returns, safe even if awareness fades completely. Nothing essential is lost when you rest. Nothing meaningful slips away. Nothing that belongs to you disappears because you stopped watching. Rest is not an escape from life. It is a return to what sustains it. A quiet place where effort dissolves and being is enough. You are safe to let go of the day, safe to let go of yourself, safe to let go of this moment without holding on to it, because safety here does not depend on memory or intention. You are held even now, held as you are, held without condition, held without demand, and you can rest fully, deeply, completely, knowing that this is where you are safe.